Today, I want to share why there are certain units I would personally avoid during a project launch. So if you want your property to command a stronger resale value in the future, you need to know this. Now, this is the most important step for anyone when buying a new launch because it sets you up with the right balance between price and value. But here's the truth. On launch day, all you get is just a site model and some floor plans. And you have to imagine which level and facing will work best. Unlike a resale property where you can just walk in and immediately feel the level, facing and size for yourself. And to make it worse, the actual prices are only reviewed on booking day. That's why many buyers struggle to match the right price with the right unit and end up making mistakes without realizing it. So in this video, I'll share why personally I avoid certain types of units on launch day with a real case from Springleaf Residences. Short property stories from real conversations. By the way, I'm Gaynor and I've met hundreds of property upgraders and investors, and these are their real stories. So if you want to avoid costly mistakes and make better decisions, do check them out. And the links are just below. Now, one of the most common mistakes I see is that buyers get overly focused on cheaper PSF and pricing. And I understand that nobody wants to overpay. But what I've learned over the years is that it's not just about the price. It is about the value you get and, more importantly, how future buyers will see it when you eventually become the seller. Now, let me just give you a simple example that you probably have seen this couple of times. Imagine you are now at Starbucks. A small cup of coffee costs $4. The medium is $6 and the large one is $7. Most people who want value for money will go for the large cup because for just $1 more, you are getting much more coffee. That's exactly what I mean by striking the balance between price and value. But what I notice is many property buyers don't think this way. They rush to grab the cheaper units without realizing that they can just pay a little bit more to get way more better value. Take for example my recent case study where my buyer and I were choosing between two types of 3-bedroom units in Springleaf Residences. A 3-bedroom standard that is 904 square feet, which is facing the expressway. And another one is a 3-bedroom basic that is 786 square feet and is inwards facing. Now, both had pros and cons, but also hidden traps most buyers wouldn't notice on launch day. So let's talk about the expressway facing first. And yes, this facing comes with obvious traffic noise. But the higher floors that are level 15 and above actually gives you a stunning greenery view. The tricky part is the mid-floor units that are between level 5 to 10. You're close enough to hear the traffic, and every day you will see cars zooming past because the stack is quite close to the expressway. Now, I saw the same issue that happened at Treasures at Tampines. One contact of mine couldn't sell his mid-floor expressway unit for over a year. He ended up renting it out instead. And yet, on booking day, most buyers still rushed for mid-floor expressway units just to save $50,000 to $60,000 compared to the higher floors. But in my view, if you are going to buy expressway facing, go as high as possible. Because that view is what future resale buyers will pay a premium for. So for this facing, my advice is simple. Go high or look at other options if the high floors are already taken. The other choice was the inwards facing, that is the 3-bedroom basic. Now, the price difference between the low and high floor units was about $150,000, from around $1.65 million to $1.8 million. Now, for investors, going for low floor units might look like a no-brainer. But once again, I'm always thinking, how will future buyers feel when it's time for resale? Now, here's the detail most people missed. Right in front of that stack is a conservation building that is about 4 to 5 stories high. With the rooftop, you need at least level 7 to clear it. That is why I play it safer, which I prefer going for level 10 and above because once you clear the building, the view opens up completely. And the price difference from the level 7 to level 10 is only $20,000 to $30,000 more. For me, that small top-up difference is worth it for the long-term value. And from the 2 case studies I just shared, you can see the common issue. Buyers put a lot of emphasis on the cheapest PSF or price because it seems the safest approach. But the problem with new launches is you can only imagine and visualize so much. The project isn't built yet, and you're trying to figure out if the price matches the facing, the level, or the stack. And developers will never build models that highlight the less attractive surroundings. You really have to just rely on your imagination. With so many unknowns, it's natural that buyers fall back on the simplest rule, which is chasing the lowest PSF or the lowest price. But for me, the rule of thumb is different. I will always look at it through the eyes of a future buyer, because that will be your main objective in the end. So when it's time to sell, your unit will be more desirable, which will help you exit easier, faster, and at a better price. So that's it for today's video. Gaynor from Property Made Simple. I hope this really benefits you. For more stories, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.